Did you know that nearly 1 in 4 Americans have no emergency savings at all? That's a staggering statistic, especially considering how easily life can throw unexpected curveballs like job loss. Losing a job can be one of the most stressful events anyone can go through. But here's the thing. How you protect your savings during this time can make all the difference in your financial future. Welcome to Factful Finance, where today we'll dive deep into the strategies and insights you need to safeguard your nest egg when life throws you a financial curveball. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer. The advice in this video is for educational purposes only. Listing tools or apps doesn't imply endorsement, and I always recommend consulting a professional to tailor a strategy that's right for you. All right, let's get into it. When you lose your job, the immediate emotional reaction is understandable. Fear, anxiety, maybe even panic. But what often gets overlooked is the financial preparation, or lack thereof, that can turn this crisis into a manageable setback. In fact, the way you handle your savings can determine how quickly you bounce back. Let's start with the first key concept: building an emergency fund. This is the cornerstone of financial security, especially during uncertain times like a job loss. Most experts recommend setting aside 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses. This fund should cover essential bills, things like rent or mortgage, utilities, food, and transportation. For instance, if your monthly expenses total $3,000, aim for a fund of $9,000 to $18,000. But how do you build that emergency fund? Let's take Noah, for example. He's 30, recently laid off, and has just enough in savings to cover 2 months of expenses. Now, Noah is rethinking his budgeting strategy. He implements the 50-30-20 rule, setting aside 20% of his income each month for savings. By reducing discretionary spending, cutting back on dining out, entertainment, and impulse purchases, he is able to reach his emergency fund goal in just under a year. This gives him peace of mind knowing that if anything happens, he's got a financial cushion to fall back on. Diversification is another key strategy to protect your nest egg. It's not just about having cash in the bank, it's about how you invest your savings. Experts recommend spreading your investments across various asset classes: stocks, bonds, real estate, and more. This reduces the risk of one bad event, like a market downturn, wiping out your entire portfolio. Let's look at Olivia. She's built a solid investment portfolio but was hit with a job loss unexpectedly. Fortunately, because her investments are diversified, her portfolio was less affected by a volatile stock market. While she faced financial stress from her job loss, her well-balanced investments allowed her to ride out the storm and keep her long-term financial goals on track. Next, consider your spending habits. It might be tempting to dip into your savings immediately after a job loss, but before you do that, it's crucial to evaluate what's absolutely necessary. This brings us to cutting unnecessary expenses. Take Alexander. He found himself in a similar situation and, instead of diving into his emergency fund immediately, he adjusted his budget. He stopped using credit cards for non-essentials and deferred luxury purchases, focusing solely on bills and food. By reducing his spending, he extended the life of his savings for several months. Now, let's talk about unemployment benefits. Many people underestimate how much they can rely on unemployment benefits. These benefits vary from state to state, but in most cases, they provide some relief while you search for your next opportunity. It's crucial to know what you're entitled to and to apply as soon as you're laid off. This can significantly reduce the financial strain, allowing you to keep your savings intact. But what happens if you've been out of work for a while? How do you protect your savings long-term when unemployment benefits start running low? This is where the importance of side gigs and freelancing comes into play. Let's use Mia's example. After losing her job, she started doing freelance writing and digital marketing on the side. Not only did this help her stay afloat, but it also gave her the opportunity to learn new skills and build an additional income stream. This helped her avoid tapping into her emergency fund and allowed her to keep her long-term savings on track. Finally, let's talk about debt management. If you're facing job loss, managing high-interest debt becomes even more critical. Prioritize paying down debt, especially credit card debt, as it can quickly snowball if left unchecked. Experts suggest tackling your most expensive debt first. This could mean focusing on credit card balances or high-interest loans before making payments on lower-interest debt like student loans or a mortgage. James had credit card debt of $6,000 with a 20% interest rate. When he lost his job, he immediately redirected any remaining savings to paying off that high-interest debt, minimizing the financial strain in the long run. Wrapping up, job loss can feel overwhelming, but with the right approach, you can weather the storm and protect your financial future. Start by building that emergency fund, diversifying your investments, cutting unnecessary expenses, understanding your unemployment benefits, and managing your debt wisely. Remember, financial security isn't just about having a job, it's about having a financial plan that supports you during tough times. So let me ask you this. What's the first step you'll take towards securing your savings in case of a job loss? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for joining me on Factful Finance. If you found this video helpful, why not subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on more insights that could make a difference in your financial life. We think you'll find the next video on your screen interesting, and it might just help with your financial goals. Stay proactive, stay informed, and take control of your financial future.